are in the waiting room. I think that I did.
I think you made it into
I did.
That's okay.
I'll turn that one off.
Do not touch my shoe again.
Do you think it's just going to kick over at 10 then?
Probably.
I said start. Went from 2 to 5 today. Laser. Laser. Auntie said she was gonna. Yeah. Oh, 7.
Yeah, maybe you'll see the kid. I'm taking you to this class. I don't want to hear a word.
That's why we're gonna have to mute, right?
Yeah, that's what I said. But yeah, for sure, you should be like, and then you'll probably hear it and be like, hi. Not really.
Okay. Why don't I see anybody? Okay, thinking you know.
Here are all your people. Oh, Graham's doing it.
Do I have?
Oh, you have to approve him.
Okay.
Admit. I don't know who Tom Cruise is, but
Hey, there's my sis.
Harper's here too.
Hi.
Hello.
I didn't realize I had to admit you guys. Hi, Ellie.
Hi.
Hi, Mom.
Hey.
Maria.
Hey.
Maria, hi.
How's everybody doing?
How is everybody? Is that Rachel back there? Hi, Rach.
Grammy, is that Grammy on there?
Yeah.
Oh, hey.
How's everybody doing? We'll just say a quick hello and then we'll get started. I didn't realize I had some setting on that I had to admit you guys all. So you're there. I'll work on that.
Fun.
Everybody hanging in there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well, I'm gonna probably go ahead and mute everybody. So I'll be looking for you. If you can't hear me, be giving me the thumbs down signal, okay? And then we'll get started.
Great. Lisa.
Julia! It's fun to see everybody. Okay.
Hello.
Hi, Julia. Can you see us? Savannah.
Hi,
Savannah.
she is.
There you are.
Yeah, it took us a little bit to figure it out, but
Okay. Great to see you guys. All right. So I'm going to actually go mute all. If you cannot hear me, you're going to give me the thumbs down. Okay.
that's good.
We'll get started, right?
Mm-hmm. You good? You need help?
I think I'm good.
All right.
Got the dog. Okay, so wait, how do I see myself? I need me back in the main. I don't want to be muted.
Okay.
Wait 1 second. Okay, I'm not muted. Hi, Kristen. Oh, nice t-shirt. Okay.
I think it's staying.
All right.
Do you want me? I'll do full screen for
Nope,
you.
just leave it like that. Okay. All right, so you stand there for 1 second and make sure. You can hear me. Give me the good thumbs up signal. Excellent. Okay, so things that would be handy for you to have, you don't have to have all these props, but things that would be handy are a nice blanket. A couple of yoga blocks you can do with or without. Yoga strap option. So if you don't have a yoga strap, you can use a tie, like a bathrobe tie. And a chair handy or corner of a couch could be nice. So we're going to start laying down. And we are going to, if you have a blanket, great. If you don't have one, it's not a problem, but you're going to fold it into thirds. You're going to place it in the middle of your mat or in the middle of the floor. I'm going to adjust screen view just a little bit. And then you're going to sit with your glutes right at the end of the blanket. And then go ahead and lay on down. If you want to create a little pillow, oh, here goes the dog. He's going to be really helpful. A little pillow underneath your neck, that could be great. And keep the knees bent to start. Now, if you don't have a blanket, just lay down on your mat and get comfortable. And then allow those eyes to close. I'm probably talking a little louder than normal, but I want to make sure the mic is picking me up okay. We're just going to take a moment to settle into the blanket and connect with the breath. Turn those palms up to the ceiling and take a nice, slow, smooth inhale into the belly, the side ribs, all the way up into the chest. And then slowly exhale, sink into that support of the blanket or just the mat. And we'll do that again. Nice, slow, smooth inhale into the belly. Drawing that breath all the way up into the chest. Slowly exhaling through the nose. And we'll do that one more time. Inhale into the belly. Side ribs, all the way up under those collarbones. And this time, as you exhale, think about bringing some softness to the forehead. Release the jaw and allow those arms to be heavy into the floor. And then just let go of that lengthened breath. Just allow the breath to breathe you or do whatever it wants to do right now. And then we'll take another slow, smooth inhale through the nose. And as you exhale, imagine any worries about the day or any frustrations just to drain away into the blanket beneath you, drain away into the floor, and drain away into the earth beneath that. Now lengthen your next inhale to a count of 3. Exhaling to a count of 4. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhaling 3. Exhaling 4. One more time. And now lengthen your next inhalation to a count of 4. To match that 4 count exhale. And then just release that breathing technique. Keeping those eyes closed just a bit longer. Keeping those knees bent very slowly. Begin to roll on, transition onto your side. Come off of the blanket and rest the head on the arms. Resting in fetal position here. And as you transition onto your side, just notice how the breath feels. You might feel a little pressure on the inhale as those side ribs expand into the floor, into your mat. And then very slowly, using that top arm, begin to press yourself back up to seated. If you have had a blanket on the mat, you're going to scoot it off to the side. We will use it again, but you're just going to return to laying on the mat with the knees bent, feet hip distance apart, and arms out to the side, palms turned up to the ceiling. Now, if you've been practicing with me for a little bit, this cues will make more sense. If you haven't been practicing with me for a while or getting back into yoga, just do what you can. If anything feels uncomfortable or something's hurting, you're just going to pause and not do that. So right now we're going to focus on that low back, using our abdominals to press the low back into the floor. So we'll do it with the breath. We'll inhale through the nose. And as you exhale, press the low back into the mat and hold it there. And try not to let the quads or the arms do the work here. Keep a little breath moving through the torso. And on your exhale, let everything go. You might feel the back come away from the floor a little bit. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale through the nose. And as you exhale, using those abdominals, press the low back into the floor. Again, check in with the quads and the arms. See if you can stay open and relaxed through the front of the chest. And then let that go. This is our posterior pelvic tilt. We're going to do that 1 more time. Inhale through the nose. On the exhale, press the low back into the mat. Still breathing here. And on your next exhale, let it go. Draw the knees in toward the chest. You can hug them in, either holding onto the shins or onto the hamstrings. And rock side to side if that feels good. And then place your palms on the top of your kneecaps and circle those knees in either direction, just noticing what might feel tight in the low back. And circle them the other way. If you want to try a little bit more advanced abdominal work, you're going to keep the knees up this time. They're bent at 90 degrees. We're trying to get knees right over hips, arms out to the side. Inhale again through the nose. And as you exhale, press the low back into the floor. It's much harder with the legs up. If it causes any discomfort, you can put the feet back on the floor. See if you can keep a little breath moving through the torso here, and then hug those knees in again. We're going to do that 1 more time. You have an option of keeping the legs at 90 here, or you can also add a toe touch. So inhale through the nose. As you exhale, first press the low back into the mat. And if you want to explore, those right toes can head toward the floor or the mat. They can only go halfway down. Most important thing is you're focusing on, can you keep the low back pressed into the mat? So only go as far as you can keep the low back from arching off of the floor. If you're toe touching, we're gonna go for, let's go for 2 more each side. And at any point, if you've had enough, feel free to draw those knees into the chest. We'll all meet you there. Hug those knees in. Roll slowly to your side. And then begin to come onto hands and knees. So we're going to continue to warm up the spine in cat-cow. If you'd like a little support under the knees, go ahead and fold your blanket or a beach towel under the knees. See if you can spread those fingers nice and wide. Knees right under hips and wrists under shoulders. On the inhale, the belly will drop toward the floor. Chin will lift. Exhale, arching up into that cat pose. Inhale, belly drops, chin lifts. Exhale, arching up, press into those hands and shins. Inhale, belly drops, chin lifts. Exhale, arching up into cat. Keep this movement going. Do 3 more on your own. When you come into that arched cat pose, let the head hang. And when you finish the one that you're on, come back into that table position, that neutral spine. We're going to take the knees out a little bit wider and sit back into child's pose. So your options, want the forehead to be supported here. You can support your forehead with the back of your hand or a fist. If it works for you to reach the arms forward and rest the forehead on the mat, that's great. And smooth, steady breath here. Nice, slow, smooth inhale. You might notice those side ribs expanding between the thighs. And slow, steady exhale. Take a nice slow inhale again, and on the exhale, come back into that strong table position. And make sure you have enough space behind you to straighten your left leg, keeping the toes on the mat. Think about pulling the belly in strongly, and on the exhale, just lifting that left leg up just to hip height. Strongly think about pressing through the heel. Strong arms. And set the leg down. We'll take it to the other side. Make sure you're not going to bang your leg into something. Right leg back. Pull the belly in. Inhale. On the exhale, right leg's going to lift. Press that heel to the space behind you. Now, if you feel wobbly in this position, just doing the leg only, then I encourage you to stay with the legs. On this next one, we're going to add in the arms. So left leg back, right arm's going to reach forward, but I'm going to keep the right arm on the floor for the first one. Pull the belly in, lift the left leg up. If you care to, right arm can lift, thumb pointing up toward the ceiling. Reach the fingers away, right fingers away from the left toes. And set it down. Let's do the other side. Right leg back, left arm forward. Let's lift the leg first. You have an option of staying right here or lifting that left arm as well. Thumb pointing up to the ceiling. Smooth, steady breath. And set it down. One more time, we're going to do the combo. So decide what feels best for you. Left leg back, right arm forward. Look down at your mat, pull the belly and lift on your exhale. I can totally tell I haven't done this in a while. this particular pose. Right leg back, left arm forward, pull the belly in, lift. Gaze down at your mat, which might be tricky if you're trying to watch the screen. Keep breathing. Set it down and take child's pose one more time. And on your next exhale, we're going to come back up. We're going to move into some really great stretches for the quads. Now I've got blocks here, so I'm going to first demonstrate with the blocks, and then I'll turn toward the chair. Just have your chair in front of you. They can act as blocks. Really nice to have knee support here. So I'm folding that blanket or beach towel, whatever you're using, under the knees for this particular pose. And if you feel like the knees are really uncomfortable, you can actually slide your kneecap. We're going to start with the left leg up, left leg bent to 90. If you feel like it's uncomfortable on the right knee, you might try sliding your right kneecap forward until it's not on the blanket. Now you might be balancing here just fine if you have yoga blocks and you're playing around with them. We want a vertical left shin and right hand on the blocks. And then we're going to pull the belly in toward the spine. You might have seen my whole pose there, straighten up. We're very vertical here. Hi, Blazer. So when we pull the belly in toward the spine, you might feel a bigger stretch on the right side. Hands to heart center as an option. You can keep them here. You can also bring them overhead. Imagine you're holding an imaginary block between the hands, palms facing each other. If you brought the arms up, bring them back down. We'll heel toe the left foot forward. Try not to sag into that right hip, and make sure that front left leg is nice vertical shin here. Deep stretch for the hip flexors. Same arm options. You can keep the hands on the floor, on the blocks, or on your chair. If you care to bring them overhead, you are welcome to give that a try. On the exhale, we're going to bring the left knee back to meet the right. Now I'm only turning so I can show this. I should have probably done it the other way around, but if you've got a chair near you and no blocks, you'd have been that right knee up to 90. You don't have to turn. I'm only turning because my prop is over here. Look for that nice vertical shin and then pull the belly in toward the spine. That's that posterior pelvic tilt. I'm getting a huge stretch on that left quad here. Hands to heart center if that feels okay. You can bring arms overhead. This is where I ask, everybody getting a stretch here? I'm going to assume that you are. And then if you're using blocks, you're going to walk them forward. You're going to come into that hip flexor part of the stretch. I'm going to demonstrate the option with the chair. So I'm moving toward the seat of the chair. I'm getting deep into this hip flexor stretch. If you're feeling any discomfort in the knee, try the option of coming forward on the blanket so the kneecap is actually not touching the mat or the blanket. Smooth, steady breath. Here's your options for arms, heart center. And if you care to, bring them overhead. And on the exhale, bring your hands back to the chair seat. Come off of that blanket, and believe it or not, we're going to come up to standing. So, oh, wait, no, we're not. We're going to do one more thing. Well, yeah, let's stay on the floor for one more stretch. I was trying to figure out front, beginning or end, but we're going to do it right here because we're already on the floor. So really great hamstring stretch. You're going to create a roll with your blanket or your beach towel. I'm trying to figure out how to show this the best way. Okay, figuring it out. So if you're using any sort of strap or tie, you're going to place it around the arch of the right foot. Since I have this lovely yoga strap, I'm going to put my foot in the actual loop itself. You're going to bend the left knee and bring the right foot up to the ceiling. So you should be getting a really nice hamstring stretch here. You want to think about straight right arm, straight right leg, and that left heel actively pressing up to the ceiling. Now, if you care to and you want to deepen the stretch, you're going to straighten that left leg, and you're going to be really active with the left foot as if you were pressing into a wall. Smooth, steady breath here. You want to feel like a little bit of the right shoulder blade is still on the floor. If you're using just the strap only, same principles apply. You're going to want those arms to be straight. And then go ahead and lower that right leg all the way down. We're going to do the other side before we take the leg out to the side. And that's where we'll use our blanket roll. So right knee will bend. Left leg is going to come up to the ceiling. Totally normal if you feel like, hey, I didn't know this side was so much tighter than the other side, or vice versa. Straight left arm, straight right leg. To intensify the stretch, you think about that left heel reaching up toward the ceiling. And then if you care to, go ahead and straighten that right leg, actively pressing the right foot into an imaginary wall or block. Smooth, steady breath here. Big stretch for those hamstrings. It'll make a few of these other standing poses a little bit more comfortable. And then go ahead and lower that left leg all the way down. We're going to come back to the right side. This is where you will bring your blanket roll snug in close to your right hip. Strap loop going back around the arch of the right foot. So just how we were with the right leg up to the ceiling. Snug with that blanket by the right hip. Left leg straightens. Left arm comes out from the shoulder. Right leg is going to open out over the blanket roll. And you're going to be very active in that left leg. By active, I mean you're thinking about pressing into your left heel. You're making that quad work on the left side of the body. That is going to anchor the left side of the pelvis to the floor. You can actually take your left hand, see what's happening in that left hip. We want to make sure that the hip is staying on the floor. If you can't come into it quite so deeply, then just move the leg up. And yes, this is one of my favorite stretches. Smooth, steady breath. See if you can enjoy the expansiveness from the left fingers all the way to the right toes. And begin to press the left forearm into the floor as we bring the right leg up to the ceiling. Find the tail of the strap or the end of your strap. Lower the right leg all the way down. And just relax for a minute. When you're ready, if you've been using the support of a blanket or a beach towel, move it across the body, snug it up against your left hip, and we'll begin to set up for the other side. So placing the strap around the arch of the left foot. To begin, you can bend the right knee as the left leg comes up to the ceiling. I've got a nice little prop that's going to help me on this one. And then go ahead and straighten that right leg again. Think about pressing strongly into the right foot. Your right arm is going to come out from your shoulder, palm up to the ceiling, and that left leg is going to open out to the left. This is really nice. I have the end table supporting my left foot. This is a really nice option. If you're feeling really tight in the inner thighs, you can open out to the seat of a chair, for example, or the edge of the couch. And you can relax in the stretch a little bit more. And then begin to press the right forearm into the floor as you inhale that left leg back up to the ceiling. Get the tail of the strap, lower your left leg all the way down. And take the strap off entirely. And now, yes, now we are coming all the way up to standing. So you can just set your blanket to the side. Come all the way up. Check in with those feet. So just lift and spread the toes a little bit. And your options here are hip distance on feet, which is what I'll be demonstrating. If you've been practicing for a while and you want to challenge your own balance a little bit, we'll bring the inner corners of the feet together, which will make the balance more of a challenge. And then let's go ahead and roll those shoulders. And then circle in the other direction. On your next inhale, let those shoulders come right up to the ears. And exhale, let them fall away. Take the right ear to the right shoulder, bend the left elbow, reach the fingers to the floor. Should be getting a nice stretch on the left side of your neck. And it occurs to me, I don't know if my cues are backwards, but just stretch the other side. We go to the other side. Release the arm and take the left ear to left shoulder, bend the right elbow, reach the fingers to the floor. It should give you an extra nice stretch along the side of the neck. And bring the head back to center. Now, if anyone has a yoga block or they have a smaller towel that they want to use to place between the upper thighs, this can be a really nice way to make your legs work a little harder in the practice. So I'm going to place the block between my upper thighs and I'm giving it a bit of a squeeze. You could do this with the corner of a towel or a cushion. On my video yesterday, I suggested maybe one of the the containers for broth. I decided that wouldn't be a very good idea. So take your strap about shoulder distance apart. Now I'm going to turn to the side to show you something here. You're going to reach those arms right out in front of you. Now my typical posture is to create a little bit more of a sway back. I'm going to pull the belly in toward the spine, dropping the tailbone down, reach forward, and begin to bring the arms overhead. I know you can't quite see my arms. They're there. So if you're feeling too tight in the shoulders, just slide your hands a little further away from each other. Lower them halfway down. On the inhale, reach forward, exhale. Bring that strap overhead. We're trying to not shrug those shoulders up. And lower them halfway down. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, reach forward, pull the belly in. Exhale, bring that strap overhead. And lower it all the way down. Now we're going to go right into a chest expansion where we want to feel the stretch across the front of the chest. If you were working without a strap, you're just going to clasp the hands behind the back. Otherwise, if you've got a tie, bathrobe tie, take the strap behind you. You want the palms to be facing forward. I'm going to show you the side view. So again, standing tall, belly pulls in toward the spine. Reach to the floor. On the exhale, lift the strap away. I'm not going very far, and I'm making sure I'm not collapsing through the front of the chest. Think of those hands moving toward the floor. And release. Let it go. Wiggle those shoulders. Let's do it again. Reach to the floor. Pull the belly in. Lift that strap away. See if you can keep the wrists in line with the forearms instead of lifting them up. And release. We'll do that one more time. Standing tall. Pull the belly in, reach to the floor, lift that strap just away a little bit. Think of those hands continuing to move toward the floor. You'll get this lovely lift in the chest. And let it go, bring the strap down, release your hand clasp. Now I'm gonna just make sure you have a little something to balance, or don't close your eyes entirely on this next one. We're just gonna work a little bit unbalanced pose. Your options are to close the eyes entirely or just allow the gaze to soften a little bit. So I like to start externally rotating the shoulders open, fingers nice and wide, allow the eyes to close, and really think about how it feels in your feet. Of course, if you feel a little wobbly, you'll allow the eyes to open, put your fingers on wall, fingertips to wall or chair. We're gonna sway front to back. Small movement. This can be very illuminating about our balance, but it's different every day. Hold center, we'll sway side to side. Just notice how it feels in the feet. Come back to center. We're gonna circle around to the right. I'm feeling like I want the chair near me. It's a little bit different if you're on carpet. And then let's circle the other way. Stay tall and lifted in the chest. Come back to center. Allow those knees to bend. Keep the arms out to the side. Inhale up. Turn those palms away. Exhale down. We're going to do that again. Inhale up. Exhale down. 2 more. Inhale up. Exhale down. I lied. We're going to do 1 more. Inhale up. Bring the hands to heart center. And you're going to sit. I'm going to turn here. You're going to sit into chair pose. Stay lifted in the chest. Getting a little bit of activation in the legs here. Reach the fingers to the floor. Inhale up. Sit back into chair. Keep breathing. Inhale up. Sit back into chair. Let's do 1 more. Inhale up. Sit back into chair. Pause here. Your options, if you want to make this a little more intense, or reach those arms forward. Hold an imaginary block between the palms of the hands. Breathe. On your exhale, slowly lift those arms. Thumbs lead the way. And to release, come back up to standing. That one usually gets us nice and warm. And we're going to do heel raises. So I'm turning to the side so you can see this a little better. Arms come right out front. Bend the knees. Lift the heels. Try not to fall over. If you can, straighten the legs with the heels lifted and set them back down. This is really good for preventing ankle sprains. Bend the knees. Lift those heels. Straighten the legs with heels lifted and set them down. Let's do 1 more time. Knees bend. Heels lift. Legs straighten. Set those heels down. If you've used a block or a towel, you can take it out. And let's do just a practice of tree pose in whatever variation it might be in today. I am not sure how mine's going to go, so I'm going to have a little support here. Standing tall in Tadasana in mountain pose. Bend your left knee. Externally rotate that left hip open. And here are your options. You can set the left foot on top of the right. You can place it right below the right knee. You can come all the way up to the inner thigh. It can be tricky depending on the tights we have this morning. And this is one where you probably want to focus your gaze somewhere other than the screen. I'm hanging onto my foot because I can feel it's going to slide. If you can, you're feeling steady, bring hands to heart center. And on your exhale, see if you can grow those arms overhead like the branches of your tree. Smooth, steady breath. Hands back to heart center. Set the foot down, walk the feet out. Let's do the other side. So shifting weight into the left foot. Your options are just setting the right foot on top of the left. This is plenty of balance work. You can take it to right below the knee, or if you care to, you can bring it all the way up into the inner thigh. I'm like, come here, chair. Yeah, my foot is sliding, but I think I might have it on this side. So take your gaze out of the screen. Hands to heart center. If you can, grow those arms overhead. Think about those palms facing each other. Smooth, steady breath. This is super good strengthener for the outer hips. Hands back to heart center. You've got it for one more breath. On the exhale, set that right foot down. And then again, if you do have your chair near you, in prep for another pose that's coming up, turn the seat of the chair at the end of your mat so it's facing you. And then we're just gonna come into a wide leg stance. Toes are gonna be pointing straight forward. And this pose is Tadasana. You're gonna bring those arms right out to the side and really reach the fingertips to the opposite sides of the room. Turn the palms up. Notice those shoulder blades roll down your back. Maintain that openness as you turn the palms back down. So that in itself is a prep before we come into standing poses. Let those arms come down. Bring the hands to the hip creases. Turn your right foot to the right. Left toes are going to be pointing in either straight into the room or slightly toward the midline. And just bend that right knee as we come into warrior two. Making sure that right knee is going to stay right over the right ankle. Bring those arms out to the side. Turn and gaze over the right fingertips. Straighten that leg, turn the toes forward. We're gonna do the other side, starting with hands in the hip creases. So here's my natural waist. Hip creases are right at the top of the thighs where we actually hinge. So left toes turning toward the left wall, right foot turning either straight in or slightly toward the midline. On the exhale, you're gonna watch that knee track right over the top of the left foot, just to vertical. Add those arms. Gaze over the left fingertips. Take a big inhale, and on the exhale, straighten the front leg. Step the feet together. We're gonna do that again, but we're gonna come into it from the Tadasana position. So legs apart again, arms up. Now if you feel unsteady, lead the arms down. Turn the toes to the right, carefully and slowly. Bend the right knee. Pause here. Those right fingertips are going to reach to the right. Bend the right arm to 90. Set it on top of the right thigh. Left fingers touch the left shoulder. And shoot up by the left ear. Turning this into side angle stretch. Think about someone holding on to those left fingertips, pulling you back up to standing as you straighten the front leg. Turn the toes forward. We're going to go right into the other side. Arms up or hands in the hip creases. Left toes carefully turning to the left. Right foot either pointing to the wall in front of you or turn toward the midline. On the exhale, bending that left knee. Making sure that knee stays right over the ankle and not past. Left fingers reach, reach, reach. Cave laser. Left arm bending to 90, sitting on top of the left thigh. Right fingers touch the right shoulder. Shooting up by the right ear. Press strongly into both feet here. Someone's holding on to your right fingertips, pulling you back up. And turn the toes forward. Step the feet together. Let's take a couple breaths. Inhale up. Exhale, hands heart center. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Do you need to go out? Come on. Go. Go ahead. Okay, we're going to come back into that wide leg. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of back and forth. So take that wide leg stance again. We're gonna do that one more time. Arms are coming out to the side. Turn the feet to the right. Bend that right knee to 90. Keep reaching past. Bend the right arm to 90, sit on the top of the right thigh. Left fingers touch the left shoulder. Shoot it by the left ear. Option here to straighten the right arm. If you like, it can act as a retaining wall in front of the right knee, allowing you to twist the torso and look up and to the left. Lifting that gaze. Come back up to standing. We'll do the same thing on the other side. Starting in Tadasana, I might have forgotten this in the last one. Arms up, arms back down. Turning toes to the left. Bending the left knee at most to vertical shin. Keep that motion going. Reach to the left. Bend the left arm to 90. Right fingers touch the right shoulder. Shoot it up by the right ear. Strong and balanced in the feet. Option to straighten the left arm here. Allowing you to twist the torso, look up to the right. Of course, we're breathing. Someone's got a hold of the right fingertips, pulling you back up to center. Turn the toes forward. Step the feet together. Now for the next one, we're gonna just, I'm kind of panting. Sorry, guys. I haven't talked and moved in a while. So we're gonna take the right foot. I've got the chair up by my right hand. I will move it. We're going to do a couple poses with the support of the chair. We're going to come into triangle. On triangle, it's look at the position of my legs. I'm making a triangle. The right leg is going to stay straight. But the setup is still going to be the same. So it's really lovely to start in Tadasana for this one. Turn the palms up and then turn them back down. Turn the right toes to the right. If you've got the chair near you, the toes will be under the seat of the chair. Now, instead of bending the front knee, you're hinging from the hips. Find the seat of the chair. You've got this lovely line from left fingers to right fingers. And my legs are in the shape of a triangle. Think of someone holding on to your left fingers, pulling you back up to standing. Turn the toes forward. We're going to do that one more time on this side. If you want to come into it slightly deeper, you have an option of scooting away from the chair just a little bit. As long as when you come into it deeper, you're not totally hanging over like this. We want length through the sides of the torso. Arms up, palms down. Keep that openness through the front of the chest, turning the toes to the right. Keep the right leg straight. Reach for that right wall. Reach, reach, reach. When you can't go any further, find your support or your shin. That's an option. Think about grounding into the base of the right big toe. This is a good oblique worker. Think about someone holding on to your left fingertips, pulling you back up. Turn the toes forward, step the feet together. If you've used a chair, or we're gonna do the other side, and I've got this so you guys can see me better. So triangle going to my left. Got my left toes so that they'll be under the seat of the chair. Arms up, palms up, roll them back down. Turn those left toes to the left. Right foot's turned either straight into the middle of the room or to the midline. Now we're gonna hinge in the hips. Here's where the movement happens. Reaching to the left. Find that support of the chair, that nice straight line. We're making sure that we're not sagging into the back of the left knee. This is an easy one to hyperextend on. Smooth, steady breath. Someone's reaching for pulling you up from the right fingertips. Working those obliques. We'll do it one more time, coming into it a little bit deeper, so you can repeat what we just did. I'm stepping away a little bit more. So starting in Tadasana, palms up, engage the belly, palms down, lift them up again. Oh, turn back toward the floor. Reach to the left. Think length in the torso, movement in the hips. Your left hand can come to a support, the chair, your shin. Strong triangle position with my legs. Roll that right shoulder down the back. Ground into the base of the left big toe. And of course, breathe. Someone's got a hold of your right fingertips, pulling you back up. Turn the toes forward. Step those feet together. Nice job. So using the support of the chair here for another one of my favorite stretches before we come back down to the floor. You can move the chair right in front of you. I'm going to turn to the side so you can see me. You're going to take that wide leg stance one more time. You're going to pull the belly in toward the spine. You're going to hinge forward with long lengthened spine. So you find your support. And then go ahead and round the head and shoulders forward. You want to be fully supported on the forehead. So you might need to make a fist with your hand. You might need your blanket on the seat of the chair or a block. But make sure that your forehead is supported. And we will be here for just a little bit, so allow those hamstrings to stretch. Allow the upper body to really release. Smooth, steady breath. And as you're hanging out here, if you feel like things are stretching a little bit more, you might find those hands come to the floor, forehead rests on the seat of the chair, or whatever you might be using for a prop. And the breath definitely feels different here when we are in this forward fold. Think about lengthening that breath from the belly into the side ribs, all the way up into the chest, and slowly exhaling. Now before we begin to come back to standing here, first we're going to pull the belly in toward the spine. And begin to straighten the arms. You're going to keep gazing right down at the seat of the chair as you lengthen the spine, and then heel toe, the feet together till they're right underneath your hips. Bend those knees and come all the way up to standing. Nice big inhale. Roll those shoulders. And then circle them the other way. And then I'm going to use the corner of this chair as if it was a wall. So I'm going to come all the way down onto the floor. And a lot of the times if you're in a studio with me, we take legs up the wall here. It's a little tricky on the chair. But if you come fairly close to the seat of the chair, this is going to allow you to get a pretty good stretch in our figure four. So normally I cue this by saying you're at about 90 if my feet were on the wall and the palms of my hands reach my kneecaps. You could certainly start there. I'm going to go a little closer to the seat of the chair because I'm needing a bigger stretch here. So torso is relaxing on the mat. Knees are hip distance apart. I'm going to straighten my right leg just a little bit, cross the left ankle over the right, and then draw that right knee in toward the chest. So play around with this, but you're looking to feel a pretty nice stretch in the left outer glute hip area. And if you want the stretch to be a little deeper, think about lifting the heel up a little higher into the air off the edge of the chair seat, whatever you might be using here. Yes, you can do the stretch laying completely on the floor, interlacing your fingers behind the right hamstring, but I find I get a deeper stretch when I can use these support of a wall or a chair. And one more cue for a little extra stretch. If you want to think about creating a little bit of arch in the low back, like you're unrolling the tailbone toward the floor, that will again deepen your stretch on that left side a little bit more. On your exhale, and across the right leg from the left, so both knees are bent again now. Extend that left leg over the seat of the chair just a little bit. Bring your right ankle over the left knee and then slide that left heel toward you till you get a really nice stretch in the outer right hip glute. If you want to bring the ball of the foot all the way to the edge of the chair seat and lift the heel up, it can feel really nice. Allow that upper body to really relax here. If it feels good and you want to close your eyes, you certainly can. Smooth, steady breath. On the next exhale, uncross the right ankle from the left knee. And we're going to take a reclined butterfly here. So this one can be trying to figure out how to do it with the chair. You have an option of just resting your legs over the back of the chair. If you want to explore one last inner thigh stretch here, you'll bring the soles of the feet together, allow the knees to open away from each other. If this feels like a little exposing, you can always pull the blanket across the torso. And then you can offer some support. Sometimes I angle blocks under the upper thighs so that my legs don't open out away from each other quite so wide. It would look like a blanket or a pillow under the thighs, and that would feel nice and supported, and you wouldn't open too deeply into the stretch. Let's take a couple slow, smooth breaths here. Drawing the breath into that belly, side ribs, and up into the chest. Slowly exhaling, releasing the forehead, the jaw, and the shoulders. And then if you're still in this reclined butterfly, you're going to bring the hands to the outer edges of each knee, and no, the dog cannot bark during the last few minutes of class. Laser, come on. Out you go. Get comfortable for Shavasana. You can keep the legs up on a chair. You can stretch out entirely on your mat. If you would like a supported Shavasana, you can try fold that blanket again. And you would sit right in with the glutes on the floor instead of on the blanket. Unroll your spine over the top of it and straighten the legs out long. This is called a Shavasana 2. Lily, I need someone to get the dog. So you are allowing those eyes to close. You're resting comfortably on your mat. You might feel that the hips open out so the toes roll away from each other. If you're using a blanket, you can create a little bump in the blanket to support under the neck. The palms are turned up to the ceiling. We'll take a nice slow, deep inhale into the belly. Drawing that breath all the way up into the chest. And again, as you exhale, softening the forehead, the jaw, the shoulders. Feel the support of the earth beneath you and just melt into it. allow your next inhale to be slower and deeper than the one before it, followed by a slow, complete exhale. Keeping those eyes closed, you'll bend the right knee and then the left. Roll, transition onto your side. Keeping those eyes closed for just a minute or two longer. And then press yourself up to seated. Maybe sitting comfortably on the blanket. We'll bring our hands to heart center. A nice slow, deep inhale. Slow, smooth exhale. I'm trying to unmute everyone and I can't find the button, but namaste. Be well. This was fun. Thanks for joining.
Want me to help you unmute?
Yes.
Okay.
Look at Blazer in the back.
Oh, Blazer was a little distracting.
Oh.
How is everybody?
So how do you put the gallery up there so you see all the squares of everyone?
Have the upper corner of your
Yeah,
screen
how do you put the
and
gallery?
a little square should pop up that says gallery view.
Oh, there we go.
Hey, Rachel, how you doing?
Mine doesn't say that. Darn.
Ooh.
Participants?
Well, we'll be doing more of these, so
Yeah.
I'll get better at it.
That was wonderful. Thank you.
Oh.
Hopefully it keeps you sane for the next hour or so. Good to see everybody.
Thanks. Bye.
Thank you. Bye. Thank you. What the heck?
And
End meeting. End meeting.